How to stop wanting to control everything. Are you someone that's more of a control freak, someone that wants to have control over every situation, over other individuals? Because otherwise, if you feel like that you don't have control, it feels overwhelming, it feels like that you can't have things your own way, and you just simply don't feel comfortable. If you are someone that's in that position, but you fully understand that it can be a little bit toxic and that controlling everything isn't always possible, then this is the perfect video for you. And thus, with that said, let's get started. Number one, understand why you want to control. Sometimes we want to control because we're insecure. We don't want other individuals to leave us. We feel like that if we let go of control, we can't have control over what the behavior of other individuals will be, and we feel a lot more comfortable if we do have control. We feel very uncomfortable due to the unknowns and uncertainties, and thus by having more control, it makes us feel more at ease and more at peace. But being able to control everything and everyone isn't always possible, and more likely it's not good for yourself. Because if you're someone that's constantly focused on trying to control everything, if you are someone that's constantly trying to control everyone, you will never be at peace. And thus, first of all, it's very important to understand why you want to control everything. Because letting go of control isn't the same as losing control. Letting go of control is the fact that you feel at ease even though if you don't have control. While if you are someone that loses control while being a control freak, it will completely upset you. You'll feel very uncomfortable and you won't feel at ease because you don't have any control. And thus, it's a mindset shift. Try to be someone that can let go of control and completely be okay with it even if you don't have control of the situation. Because a lot of times when it comes to a lot of situations, whether it's people or other things, we don't have 100% control. The only thing we usually have control of is ourselves, and even then, from time to time, we don't even have 100% control of ourselves. And thus, if you are someone that's trying to control everything, you need to understand that it's not possible. You need to understand that you'll never have 100% control, and thus, if you continue to do so, you'll never feel at ease, you'll always feel a little bit uncomfortable, and most of the time, it can become very toxic, and if you are too controlling, other individuals won't appreciate it. Number two, take small steps, and I completely understand that it can be very difficult to completely get rid of being this individual, completely get rid of being someone that wants to control everything, and thus, the best way to approach this is to do it step by step. Be someone that doesn't completely get rid of the mindset that you've currently got, but try to do it step by step. Think about the small things that you don't necessarily care too much about and try to let go of control over those things. And you'll realize that initially it will feel a little bit hard, it will feel a little bit uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. You can still live your life, you can still function, and over time, you'll feel more comfortable even by letting go. And then you can take bigger steps, let go of more variables over time. And over time, you actually realize that even though you're someone that wants to control everything, by letting go and being okay with it, by taking small steps, over time, you'll be fine with it too. Number three, surprise is life. So if you are someone that wants to have control over everything, because you initially didn't have control over that, and thus if you're someone that wants to become someone that wants to have less control over situations, wants to have less control over people, you need to understand that sometimes there will be surprises coming your way. Sometimes things won't go the way you want them to go, whether it is positive or negative, it doesn't matter. And thus there's no point to overplan everything, overanalyze everything, because there's so many variables out of your control. Number four, expectations are your downfall. So never try to have a lot of expectations, or at least manage them in a very coherent and logical way. Because obviously we can all have some sort of expectations. Sometimes it's very logical that we will achieve something, but even then there's a lot of different external factors that get into the way. Life can get into the way. You as a person get into the way. You need to let go of expectations, or at least manage it in a coherent and logical way. Number five, surrender to life. So you have plans for yourself, but life has different plans for you. So sometimes it's better to go with the flow instead of trying to push your own narrative, trying to push your own way of thinking. Even though I completely understand that you want to live your life on your own terms, you want to do things in your own terms, but there are things that you don't have control over and you'll never have control over. So you can cry about it, you can feel upset about it, but it won't change the fact that you don't have any control over it. So it's better to go with the flow when it comes to things you don't have any control over, and you're still allowed to have control over the things that you do have control over. So for example, yourself, you can have control over your emotions, you can have control over your actions, and this way you can still achieve the greater things in life. You can still chase your dreams, but at the same time it is still important to understand that sometimes there are external factors that you don't have control over, and thus it's better to take that into account while moving forward, because this way you can take a better calculated approach. And that's pretty much the end of this video, so I hope you found it informative and useful. If you did, please leave a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider to hit the subscribe button and help your brother out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate your time and hope to see you on my next video. Bye bye.